Welcome to 10 Talks, real conversations with champions for champions. I'm your host, Emily Love.
And I'm Carlette Patterson, your head sports life coach. And the desired outcome of our Real Conversations for Champions with Champions is to share our passion for sports life coaching. We want to get you coached, and our purpose for training you for a life that you love is we want to connect you to what matters to you in your life and the power of being a champion in your own life. A champion life is a 10 life.
Hi team, welcome to 10 Talks. This week we have the honor and privilege of talking to Katie Zimenik. I got the chance to meet Katie through our sports life coaching certification and instantly fell in love. She is a rock star. She's a stud, but she has a heart that's big to love people well. And that's one of my favorite things about you, Katie. So a little back history on Katie. She was an athlete in college, and she's actually been an assistant coach for 5 seasons now. She also recently graduated from the sports life coaching certification in May and has plans to use that in her life as well. So Katie, thanks for being here and really excited to have you on the show.
Thanks for having me.
So let's start off with one of our favorite tools, a competitive greatness moment. Again, we use the competitive greatness definition from Coach John Wooden, and it is being your best when your best is needed. So Katie, this is going to give us a glimpse into kind of your heart, your life, and the way that you are competitively great. So what do you have for us in that regard?
Yeah. Well, just thinking back from kind of my journey. First, I was a nursing student doing nursing, and now I'm a college basketball coach. And after I graduated college, quite a few people always told me that I wouldn't be able to coach, and I didn't have the background and experience in coaching to become a college basketball coach. But I had the opportunity to be a graduate assistant at Arizona State, and from there I did everything I could to get an assistant position at Black Hills State University. And recently I just moved to Denver, Colorado, and now I'm an assistant at Regis University. So just being able to use the competitive greatness and being able to have the journey, but also to believe in myself has been pretty awesome.
I love it. I love that your story points out the coach's life, right? You've lived in many different places already and you're newly in your career, but what a cool competitive greatness moment, Katie, to be anchored in the fact that it was your definition that mattered most. And you didn't focus on what other people said you couldn't do, but you decided to blaze your own trail and to really stay focused on what you needed to do to achieve your goals. And now you have. That's huge.
For sure. Yeah. Thank you.
So let's go back to how we met through our sports life coaching certification. And I know that changed my life, and we've talked, and I know that it's been a huge impact on yours. Talk to us, Katie, about what led you to the sports life coaching certification and what you have learned from it personally, professionally, and philanthropically.
Yeah. Well, as I mentioned before, I was at Arizona State University with the women's basketball program, and I was given the opportunity to work with Carlette one-on-one quite a bit in my spot as the graduate assistant. And with her, I was able to learn quite a few things with the life coaching, but also just working with her and seeing how amazing she is as a woman, but also just as someone that guided me. So from there, it was, probably last February, actually Sophie Bruner, who was in the class with us, she emailed me and knew I was interested in becoming a sports life coach. And I was kind of in the midst trying to figure out what I wanted to do, if I wanted to stay in South Dakota or move somewhere else, get a new job. And so I took this class, and like you said, it definitely changed my life. I didn't know exactly what I was going to do with it, but even if I wasn't going to become a sports life coach, I knew, and now I'm just using it in my everyday life. And with sports life coaching, of course, we have quite a few tools that we use. And right now I'm just trying to personally figure out like time management, emotional management, just some personal things going on. So those have been really huge for me. And also just living a 10 life. That's what sports life coaching is all about. So just being able to have the people in my life that make my life a 10, but also doing the things and cutting out the things that may not make my life a 10. So that's been pretty awesome. Professionally, right now as an assistant women's basketball coach, actually as a team, we are reading The Energy Bus by John Gordon.
Cool.
We read that in our class, and so now I'm able to share it with our wonderful women. And so we just had our first meeting, and it's been awesome. They're learning a lot, and I'm also trying to implement like 10 moments and being able to call your life play. So we've been doing that in the beginning of our sessions just to kind of implement some new knowledge and terminology for them and see if that will make a difference in how they like that. And then philanthropically, giving back in any way that I can, really just family and friends. And I feel like now life coaching is just in my everyday life, even if I'm not actually doing it. I feel like I use the tools and what we've learned in the class. I've been really fortunate being able to use that if I have friends and family that reach out, or if things are going on with our team, our coaches, I'm able to use it. So it's been awesome.
Katie, I love that your story sort of highlights the profound way that Carlette coaches us up, that we are our first client. So the way that you talked about how you're using these tools, you're really implementing them in your own life first. And the second thing I love about your story and what it's highlighting is that Carlette talks often about how everyone deserves their own journey. And as a coach, we don't need to be giving advice. We need to be giving, the people that in our lives and the people that we're coaching,
right,
the skills to be able to implement it to their own lives. And that's what you get to do on a personal, professional, and a philanthropic level. So I think that's really cool how you're able to kind of weave that into your whole life, starting with yourself. Let's talk about how you're committed to using this outside of your personal life and sport. We just launched the Life Training Academy. And so you can go to lifetrainingacademy.com to figure out what that's all about, to get a coach, to get on a team, really to start to ground yourself in these life-changing tools that Carlette has developed. So talk to me, Katie, about what your role is at the Life Training Academy.
Yeah, it's awesome. We've been talking a while about launching LTA, so it's really awesome that now it's finally launched and we have a website. And I'm just really fortunate to be able to be on the team with all these amazing other sports life coaches and working alongside Carlette. But yeah, I am planning on being a sports life coach with the Life Training Academy. I won't be doing it full time, but I'll be doing it when I can, when I'm not coaching and doing my profession. But I am going to focus on coaching college athletes outside of women's basketball players, just from being a coach, and then focusing on the LGBTQ community and also young professionals, just trying to find a way to kind of weave into those two communities, just because it is definitely a hard part of life, trying to find out who you are and also developing as a young professional. And I've done quite a few things already and being at a young age. So just trying to find those right people to serve and support and hopefully grow from there.
So one of my favorite parts about sports life coaching is the give hope component. And I feel like this really is what makes Carlette different. Not only does she live this, but she gives it to us and to others. And we learned this heavily through our sports life coaching certification. So Carlette's acronym for give hope is get involved, volunteer, educate, help other people excel. So Katie, tell me who's given you hope in your life, and tell me your favorite way to give hope to the world.
Yeah. I would say first and foremost, my family. They're the ones that have been beside me all along and have pushed me to, take those different steps and different directions in my life, which I probably never would have if I didn't have that hope from them. So it's pretty awesome. And also just, the people that I've surrounded myself with, a few coaches that I've worked with just to push me and get me to where I'm at. So I'm really fortunate in that aspect. And just over the past year, I was living in South Dakota and now being in Denver. And I would say also just like my faith and with God leading me, I would say I've gained a lot of hope in that aspect of my life. And so now, me being able to give back and give hope to others. I've been trying to serve at our local church just so I can give back in some way since I am super busy just with work and things like that. But yeah, I would say church is probably the number one thing right now that I'm serving and giving hope to others. But also we do a lot of community service with our team and our university. So those two ways are definitely really important.
That's awesome. And, I talked on the last episode about how give hope, everybody thinks that it has to do with like large sums of money or even, large sums of your time. And while it can definitely be those things, I think that was the new thinking that all of us really engaged in when Carlette was saying that it can just be a smile and it can be opening the door for someone. It can be an encouragement from you as a coach to a player. But really, I think when you just start to think about giving hope and the science behind it, we actually end up happier as a result of giving. But it doesn't have to be these large, massive events in our lives. But when you put it on your radar, you just start to see it all the time. You see it all day long, how it really makes a transactional difference in you and the one that you're giving hope to. So I love, Katie, that you talked about how you're giving hope to a lot of people in your life, but also you have people kind of filling that for you. So that's a really cool cycle. And we see that continue. So let's get back to one of our last tools that we use actually in every workout as sports life coaches. It becomes one of your favorites, even when you're on, the sports life coaching team, but it's 10 moments. So 10 moments, we use stats in everything. That's really how we're measuring, what our life is and getting to that 10 life. So 10 moments grounds us in that feeling that we long to live in, that the person that we want to be, it helps us highlight maybe the most important aspects of our lives and what we really value. So that's what our 10 moment tool is. So Katie, give me one of your favorite 10 moments in terms of the sports life coaching cert class that we went through.
Yeah. Well, one that always comes back, of course, is just the people that were in our class and meeting some unbelievable women that I never knew before class even started. And when I got an email about who was in my class, I was just wondering, like, who are these people and am I going to get along with them? And just stepping out of that box. And so when we got into class, I think it's just awesome being in the sports life cert class, and Carlette doesn't really have you introduce yourself and talk about yourself, and you just learn as the class goes on more and more about each other. And I thought that was just awesome. That was definitely a 10 moment. And, being able to then in June when we had graduation, being able to then actually meet everyone and being able to spend time with each other and learning more about each other than that we didn't even know. And just being in the presence of each other was awesome. And I felt like I knew, especially you, but others in the class like forever, and we had only known each other for like 3 months. So that was definitely a 10 moment. But I would say another 10 moment was I think just learning about me and just knowing that it's not about you or me, I guess. It's always about the other person. And so when I do take sports life coaching the next step and actually applying it to other people's lives, just knowing that it's about them and making their lives going from good to great. And that's what our job is. So just learning a lot about me and my life, and now how I can take that, knowing more about me, and now focusing it on the other person. So I would say those were definitely my 10 moments.
So one of the rituals and routines of 10 moments is you have to name it. So give us a name for the 10 moment that you just talked about in terms of just really learning, but knowing that it's not about you. What do you want to name that moment, Katie?
This is always tough. Um,
Let those creative juices flow.
It's not about me. It's all about them.
I love it. It's not about me. It's all about them. Katie, thank you for sharing your heart with us. Thank you for sharing your story with us. Thank you for giving hope to the world by being a sports life coach at thelifetrainingacademy.com. Team, if you want more of this in your own life, and if Katie's story resonated with you, then we are going to ask that you log on to lifetrainingacademy.com, learn more about what it means to get coached, to get on a team, or to enter the sports life coaching certification class that we have coming up here in the next few weeks. Katie, thanks for your time. Thank you for giving me hope, and thank you for your authentic friendship that it's so cool. We didn't even know each other a year ago, and now we're going to get to keep up with each other the rest of our lives. Thank you for listening. Don't forget, tune in next week and head over to iTunes and Spotify and hit subscribe.
Remember, a championship life is a 10 life. You matter. Your life matters. Create a life that you love. Give hope to others and be and choose nothing but 10s. Be you. The world needs you. Go to lifetrainingacademy.com.